Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I will be reviewing Marisa Peer's Hypnosis. Now this review is going to be more focused on the hypnosis that she has on her website. I have taken her Uncompromised Life course from Mindvalley. I have taken her I Am Enough course from her own website, and I have done the individual hypnosis in her shop. So I'll give you guys a brief comparison about what I thought when I compared all the three programs with each other. But this review in itself is more focused on the hypnosis in her shop because that is the one that I have used the most. Okay, so with that, let's get started. What is RTT or Rapid Transformational Therapy? Marisa Peer is the creator and the founder of RTT. These hypnosis are a little bit different. I'm not new to hypnosis. I've done a lot of hypnosis before. In fact, I use hypnosis for my childbirth. I've used hypnosis for a whole range of different things. Where RTT differs is that there's a lot of regressional therapy, which means that the hypnosis takes you back in memories to your childhood where you may have picked up a certain belief about yourself. So it goes into your subconscious memories with which you can treat the root cause. And you can almost like put a balm on those wounds so that you heal and then you start getting better from there. In standard hypnosis, what you'll find is you just keep putting new affirmations on top of it. You just, keep reaffirming new things, positive things, which works as well. It's just that it takes longer and there's no more maintenance required. However, with RTT, because you're going into your past, you're really, in a way, facing that scenario. And a lot of times you may not even be aware of where you picked up that thing. And that really helps. You may not think that it helps in the moment, but when you start seeing the results, it helps a lot. There's also some other differences that I noticed with RTT. I will go over that in the review, but all in all, I did find RTT to be more effective than the standard hypnosis. So who is Marisa Peer? Marisa Peer is a celebrity hypnotherapist. She was featured as one of British's, actually she was featured as the top hypnotherapist in British, which is amazing. She had very humble beginning. She goes over there in a lot of her audios where I think I can't exactly remember what she did, but it was like a very low paying job. If I recall, that's what she did. And then she started learning all of this and she developed her own method, so it's like a rags to riches story. And it's truly inspiring. So for that, a lot of respect to her. And I have personally use a lot of her audios and they definitely work a lot differently than other hypnosis and they're super effective. So the hype is real. Her stuff works. Who RTT is for? RTT is for someone who's open to hypnosis. For hypnosis to work, you do have to be open to suggestions. In a way, if you're closed off, it may not work for you as well. At least that's been my experience. That is what I've been told by a lot of hypnotherapists. So it is for someone who's really looking for growth. You understand that your outer world is a reflection of your inner world, and therefore by you transforming your inner self, you're going to see massive changes in your outer world. So if that is something that you believe in, then these hypnosis will make a big difference in your life. Who RTT is now for? If you're someone who does not believe in hypnosis, thinks the whole subconscious thing is a bunch of BS, you do not believe in it, then this will not work for you because a big part of the course is focused on that. It is on rewiring your subconscious and so on. Also, if you're someone who's very spiritual, you're looking for energy therapy type of work, then this may not be the best fit for you because Marisa Peer has a very practical approach to this. It is not that much of a spiritual approach, a very scientific based approach to personal development. Okay, so my review with the Marisa Peer hypnosis was that they absolutely work. They work phenomenally. So when I started doing our hypnosis, first of all, I was a young mom, right? My kids were really, really little and I was exhausted when I was listening to these audios. So literally I would start our hypnosis and I would pass out within 5 minutes. So I had no idea what she was saying throughout the hypnosis, and I would wake up when the hypnosis was done. And just a pointer there, that's how you're going to know that the hypnosis is working for you, is that you will wake up at the end. If you don't wake up at the end, it means that you've gotten to sleep. So chances are that you may have to redo the hypnosis. But if you do wake up at the end, it means it definitely worked for you. So I would wake up at the end of the hypnosis, and then I would find myself doing these things that were not characteristic of my regular behavior and positive things. And then maybe on day 10 or something, I was listening to these hypnosis actively, maybe not falling asleep, and I would notice that the suggestions in the hypnosis mirrored my changed actions. So I hope that makes sense. It means that these really worked because I was sleeping, yet my subconscious was getting all these positive messages that she was transmitting, and it was working in my benefit. One of the other things is with these hypnosis, the first hypnosis that you get, it's like a regressional therapy where she takes you back in the past to understand where exactly you picked up that belief. I remember the first time I listened to the regressional hypnosis and I teared up. Like I was like crying, and I'm not an emotional person, but I just kept crying because I did not realize that my a child version had experienced that type of trauma, and how I probably covered it up because of all my programming. And it's something that I never allowed myself to think about. But with this hypnosis, it helped me take myself back into the past, and then I was able to confront the situation and understand and reason with why and how all of that had happened. And after that, so once you're done with the regressional hypnosis, then you start with the regular hypnosis, which is what you have to listen to for 21 days. So then when I started rewiring myself with those hypnosis, the results were absolutely amazing, which is very different than the standard hypnosis. With the standard hypnosis, you just are affirming the new positive beliefs rather than going back into your past. So that is something that I definitely appreciated. So I took her Uncompromised Life. I took I Am Enough. Those are two of her courses. Uncompromised Life is what she offers through Mindvalley. Enough is what she offers through her website. And then she has her shop where she has all these different hypnosis. So for me, my goal was business success. So a lot of things in Uncompromised Life were around career success and business success, because she helps you through her audios get over all those procrastination, discipline related behaviors that you have in yourself. And, it sort of helps you come out of it. But what I noticed is that for me, because that business goal for me was so urgent and so immediate, I wanted to work on it right away. Like I did not have the patience to go through all these different audios that Mindvalley had to offer and in the sequence that they had to be done. To me, that was a little restrictive. Also, Mindvalley had this thing where they said that you have to do each hypnosis for 10 days. And what I found was that the 10 days was not enough. You do need 21 days with these hypnosis, and that is what the Marisa Peer website recommends, 21 days. But I guess with Mindvalley, because they have these quests and they have a certain format and it has to be done in a certain way, I don't know, I guess like they do give you 10 days, but I don't think it is that effective with just 10 days. Like, yeah, it will give you a short-term result, but it is not going to give you that long-term result. So even if you do decide to go with a Mindvalley program, like keep in mind that, 21 days may be a better bet than just trying to get through the program as fast as possible. And I guess that is where I did not like the Mindvalley program as much, is because I had no way to figure out which hypnosis would work for me better, if that makes sense. Because they all were around similar topics, and I almost felt the need to do all of them before I could get to my final goal. And I did not have the time to do that. With all these audios, it would take me close to a year to finish them. And that was just not working out well for me. So for me, I had done a lot of inner work. I knew what my biggest limiting beliefs were, and which is why I went to Marisa Peer's shop. And I ended up just directly purchasing hypnosis from her based on the biggest limiting beliefs that I had in my life. And in my opinion, those worked a lot better, because what I noticed is that in Marisa Peer's shop, her hypnosis combined maybe 4 of Mindvalley's hypnosis all in one audio. And she reaffirmed those things over and over and over again. So I almost felt like I was getting more with less time. And I ended up doing a lot of Marisa's hypnosis. And for me, time was a big constraint, right? For you, So it depends where your priority is. If you want to do everything perfect, you want to make sure you take care of all those little kinks within you. You want to make sure that you have no issues when it comes to running your business or having a successful career. Then definitely go through Mindvalley. I think they have it so well. Like, they have all these different areas that you can think of and you can work on it piece by piece. However, if time is an issue for you and you know what your biggest limiting belief is, then I would suggest going to Marisa Peer's shop and then buying the hypnosis that are the most relevant to you. If you don't know what your top limiting belief is, I personally took a quiz that helped me figure out what my top limiting belief was, and that quiz was an eye-opener. I'll leave a link to that quiz in the description box, but that is something that you can start with, and that is how you may be able to figure out what hypnosis may work out better for you. Now, this is not a quiz that Marisa Peer offers. It's by someone totally different, but it will give you an idea of the area that you may need improvement in. When I took this quiz, my biggest limiting belief was I'm not enough. So when I went to Marisa Peer's shop, I noticed that she had a hypnosis around I am enough, and then she had a hypnosis around lovability. Now, I already did I am enough, and for some reason that did not work for me as well. So the next thing that I could think was lovability. And when I did that lovability hypnosis, oh my God, the shifts that I experienced in my life, I can't even say. I feel like that hypnosis was a turning point in my life. There was the person that I was before the hypnosis and the person that I was after the hypnosis. Like, I started having this deep feeling of self-love. I used to display this very people-pleasing characteristics before that hypnosis. But after I took the hypnosis, like, I don't know, it just transformed me as a person. I did not feel the need to prove myself to anyone. I was myself. Like, I had this bad habit of talking over people and talking too much, making everything about me, and all of that just disappeared, because all of that was actually coming from this insecurity within me of I'm not enough, and that lovability hypnosis just took it out completely. What I noticed is that after I did the hypnosis, literally my outer world transformed because my inner world changed. I noticed that people were becoming so much more friendlier towards me. I don't know how to say it. Like, it just worked so well. So I think that is where these cookie cutter programs lag, is because they give you this whole program, which makes sense, right? But then at the end of the day, you know yourself the best, and you know the areas that you likely need to improve in the most. And that is where her shop comes into play, because she has all these different hypnosis and they can do different things for you based on how much effort you need in those areas. I did so many hypnosis in her shop. So my second issue was around memory, and I took her memory hypnosis. That worked as well. My memory started to improve. In fact, a lot of these instances from my past started coming to light, these memories that I had buried, and that was very transformative for me as well. Funny enough, there was this one hypnosis that I did. It's called the gastric band hypnosis. It's around weight loss, and I noticed that I had these bad eating habits, and I remember feeling like I wanted to eat chocolate right before I was doing the hypnosis. And the minute I woke up from the hypnosis, it's not that I was not hungry. I was still hungry, but then I was like, ooh, wouldn't it be nice if I just went down to the fridge and got myself some grapes? So it just changed me into a more healthy eater. And this was literally within one hypnosis session. So over time, it has this magnifying effect where you become this person. You become this new person by listening to these suggestions. So these hypnoses are really powerful. And then I took one of her discipline hypnosis. I can't remember which one it was. I'll leave a link to all the hypnosis audios that I took and I recommend from her shop. I think it was around procrastination. And that hypnosis was so amazing. It wasn't just about getting work done, but then she had these success affirmations around it. And a lot of time what people don't realize is that your procrastination habits are usually related to you in your head thinking that you may not be able to succeed. And that is what she was going to. She was going after the root causes, which is why it was so effective. And I noticed that I was taking bigger and bolder actions every single day. She has a wealth wiring hypnosis. With the wealth wiring hypnosis, it was weird. I was falling asleep during these hypnosis, so I had no idea what she was talking about. I remember day 6 of hypnosis, I was like, oh, maybe I should make a vision board. And out of nowhere, I started making this vision board. And I remember once listening to the hypnosis while I was wide awake, and she had a suggestion of making a vision board and reviewing it every single day in that hypnosis. And I guess that's how I got that idea of making the vision board, and I was like doing all these crazy visualization things. One of the things to keep in mind is with this wealth wiring hypnosis that I did for the 21 days, I was on track. I was doing everything that the hypnosis asked me to, and that was the first hypnosis that I ever did. But what I noticed is that over time, I stopped doing it. So the effects are not permanent. You do have to do maintenance. So for me, I do her hypnosis now once a month just for maintenance effect, because if I stop doing it, then the effect goes away. For some things it did not. So for lovability, I feel like it completely transformed me as a person. But with the wealth wiring hypnosis, for some reason, I do have to maintain myself time and again. So, you have to see what works for you. Just keep in mind, just because they're saying 21 days and it's going to work, it doesn't necessarily mean your problem's going to go away completely. So take it with a grain of salt, see what works for you, and then do it accordingly. A word about her I'm Not Enough program. I'm Not Enough is a very well-rounded program. So it tackles all these different areas in your life. So like I said, when I took this program, when I bought her hypnosis in her shop, my goal was business success. So when I got I'm Not Enough, like it was around all areas of my life. And I was not really interested in changing all these different areas of my life when I had a definite goal. But now that I'm in a good place with my business, I am planning on going into I'm Not Enough and then doing all the different areas of my life, because I have realized that you kind of have to work on all different areas of your life. As I became singularly focused on my business goal, I noticed that the other areas of my life, such as my body, my health, were lagging. And with that, I have less energy to work on my business and my goals. So, they all go hand in hand. So, of course, I'm Not Enough is a very well-rounded program. But if you were like me, where you're super attached to a certain outcome, and if that happens to be your career or your business, then I highly recommend going with her shop hypnosis, doing the quiz that I'm telling you about, and then buying the hypnosis that works the best for you and focusing on it 100%. Or alternatively, if you don't want to do all that, you just want to tackle all of your business beliefs or success beliefs all at once, then you could try the Uncompromised Life program from Mindvalley. One of the other things that I do want to say, and this is a little bit of a con, is that in her hypnosis shop, not all hypnosis have the regressional component to it. Only some do. So what I notice is the ones that are higher price, they usually will have a regression hypnosis with it. But the ones that are around that $50 range, they do not have the hypnosis with it. But that's not to say they don't work. So for example, lovability hypnosis, which was my top, which changed me completely, had no regression component to it. It was just a standalone hypnosis, yet it worked so well. And in some cases, I have skipped the regressional part and I go straight directly to the hypnosis, and they still work very well. But beliefs that I know come from childhood, those are the ones that I do the regressional therapy on. So it is totally up to you. Of course, they recommend you to do the regressional first and then the hypnosis, but I'm just sharing with you exactly what I do and what works for me. Okay, so let's get into the pros of the program. The pros is that these hypnosis work really, really well. They're super fast. So I am not new to hypnosis. I use hypnosis for my childbirth with a whole different program. I use hypnosis to get over my phobia of needles. I am not new to hypnosis, but I will say this. These hypnosis work super fast. You get into a hypnotic state right away. With a lot of different hypnosis, it takes you a long time to get into that hypnotic state. And sometimes even when you're in that hypnotic state, you may think that you're not in the hypnotic state. But not with RTT. With RTT, you will know you're in a hypnotic state. Like, it's so deep. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just transformational. It's very different than what I've seen before. if you purchase a shop hypnosis, they're super cheap. Like they start at $49, at least as of this recording. They start at $49, which is nothing. If you go to a certified hypnotherapist in my area, they charge you easily $250 per session. And RTT, like this is just one session, right? If you go to a traditional hypnotherapist, you're going to have to go do at least 4 or 5 sittings for those to actually work for you. So in that sense, it's cheaper and it works very well. And I fall asleep during these hypnosis and they still work very well for me. So those are the pros. The cons is that if you do the shop, right, if you purchase a hypnosis from the shop, like she has so many, unless you have done some deep work and you know what the root cause of your issues is, it may get a little bit challenging for you to know which hypnosis you want to work with. So I wish she had some sort of a quiz or something like that that sort of told you what exactly you want to tackle first. The second is that she doesn't have regressions in all of them. So, RTT, like you automatically think that there's a regression that's going to come with the hypnosis, and that may be a little bit of a letdown with some of these tapes. So that's something to keep in mind. As I said before, I fall asleep very easily during these hypnosis, and what I notice is that some of our hypnosis require active participation. So there's one in our shop that's called being a cheerleader, and it requires you to fill in some of the phrases and for you to be an active participant during the hypnosis. And I don't know if those hypnosis work as well while you're fast asleep. So there's no guidance given on it. It's hard to tell, but that is something to keep in mind, that she does have some of those hypnosis. So if you're someone who falls asleep during these tapes, then it may be worth just listening to those actively to make sure that this is one of those active type of hypnosis rather than the ones that you can fall asleep during. So all in all, I highly recommend her hypnosis. They have been life-changing for me. If I could give her hypnosis 5 out of 5, I totally would. The only thing is that it takes 21 days for it to work, but like 21 days is nothing. Like some of these issues that I've been working on those for years without any benefit, without any changes. And these hypnosis have literally transformed me into a whole different person. So I highly, highly, highly recommend it, especially if you're someone who has these bad habits that you just can't seem to snap out of, then these hypnosis are going to completely change your life. I hope this review has helped you. And if you like this video, make sure you leave a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.